have several species of tree squirrel in Oklahoma. The eastern gray tree squirrel, we also have fox squirrels, and we have flying squirrels. They all occasionally cause damage in the landscape or in urban areas. One of the main things is they cause problems by getting on bird feeders and consuming seed that people are trying to save for birds. They also sometimes get in attics and can do a lot of damage, chewing wiring and defecating. One of the other things, particularly in southeastern Oklahoma, that we get complaints about is on pecan orchards, where they're consuming a lot of the hard mass of those pecan trees. So if you're trying to exclude squirrels from things such as bird feeders or from trees, the best way is to use some type of cone, preferably metal, because as you can see on this plastic cone, they'll chew and eventually they can destroy these plastic cones. Metal lasts longer, and particularly on something like a pecan orchard, that's what we'd want to use, is some type of large metal cone. And it needs to be preferably, at least a couple feet across, and it needs to be several feet off the ground. This one is actually borderline. We want to get it up 4 or 5 foot, preferably, because a squirrel can jump very high. So this one, they can just about jump over it. So get it as high as you can and try to limit the access that those animals have to those trees or bird feeders. Now, if you have multiple trees, you're going to have to protect every tree or any tree that is within 8 feet of each other, because that's about how far a squirrel can jump between trees. So you either need to trim limbs apart, 8 feet, so that squirrels can't go from tree to tree, or else you're going to have to protect every tree in the area. Also, when you're talking about protecting your home, for squirrels getting access to the attic, etc., if you'll trim your limbs back about 8 feet, that'll help reduce the amount of squirrel use on your home. And if you ever do find an area that they're entering the attic, you just want to immediately seal that off with some type of metal flashing or just repair it with wood or whatever the case may be to seal that hole. If you suspect that those animals are still in the attic, you can set some type of trap to catch them before you seal that hole off. The other type of damage that sometimes squirrels cause, and this would be more of the gray squirrel and the fox squirrel, is they can be pretty destructive to sweet corn. So if you have a large sweet corn patch and you find that just about the time before harvest, squirrels are tearing those husks apart, you can take some type of filament reinforced tape and just wrap around a couple of loops towards the end of the husk, and that'll protect that ear from the squirrel and raccoon, because they'll often get in sweet corn the same way. So just wrap it the last week or so before harvest, and that should take care of that problem.